My guest is a world champion athlete in ballroom dancing. What do you think the skills that you acquired as a dancer that make you different in the business world?
Everything has a price. And if you decide to go for it, like big things, you just make this decision.
Tell us a little bit about your platform. And why is women? Why not men?
A lot of women really afraid to stand up and leave.
Yeah.
I always say we're not slaves, we're creators.
A lot of people have a bit of a fear going into the future. The market is crazy. They change every day.
I've been many times on the personal level when everything collapsed, what I have been building for decades.
What kind of skills, so what kind of power, what kind of spirit, what will save us so to stay sane and happy and positive? Hi guys, welcome to our new episode, Brands Through Stories. Together with my guests, we went through a variety of topics, everything from the business mindset, resilience, discipline, and so on. But when we got to the discussion about her background, my guest is a world champion athlete in ballroom dancing. I've realized that's it. This is the topic. This is exactly what we need as business people today. The skills that those amazing dancers have could help us today in this crazy world to stay strong and to grow our businesses. So please, guys, welcome my guest, Valerie Kim. She's a serial entrepreneur. She's a speaker. She's an author. She believes in women, and she's a founder of a very women-empowered platform called iSpeakUp, LightUp. Thank you so much, Valerie, for joining me. Thank you for coming right after your flight from Europe.
Thank you for having me today. It's a pleasure.
Tell us a little bit about your background. How did you move from this creative sport world to this creative challenging business world?
Yeah. Well, honestly, I have been always passionate about one, thought that freedom is everything for us human beings, and we so often forget about this. And I think dancing is a perfect combination of sport. It's like, heavy masculine discipline training, resilience, and also art, where you can discover your femininity, when you can open up your creativity. And it's also entrepreneurship. When you have this great idea, I mean, not just like whatever it is, but that you can actually monetize, you can create something that actually benefits to the market or specific communities, and so on. It's such a blend, again, where from one side you do need to push forward, build up this mindset when you need to, go until you make it done. And at the same time, when we face some challenges, it's all about like, how can I think different, think out of the box? So it's like, for me, a perfect blend, feeling this freedom of self-expression, and at the same time, not being like dependent on something. So, And I think since quite early age, I started my first entrepreneurial journey. And here we go. Since then, I don't know how many years, over 15 years, still here, enjoying it.
Do you still dance or no?
I not professional, not like in the past, but I'm actually considering to go back, because I did couple of years ago actually competed, but not in like super professional arena, so to say, but just like for fun and enjoying it.
So when was that point? So you've said you started from very early. When was that point that you decided, okay, because being in that category, that caliber of the, sport athlete, it's a professional life, right? It's not a joke at all. It's your whole life dedication. So when did you decide to stop that and move to actual business and empowering women and creating your platform, becoming a coach and so on? What was that turning point?
I think there was always coming together. Like for me, dancing was never like the major thing. For me, it was always a hobby, like something I was passionate about. Of course, I had studies and I knew what I want. I always knew what I want. Like actually, I wanted to be a singer. Never happened.
Would you like to try?
Super traditional. Like, that's what I do. I'm speaking, right? So, but I'm not singing. Thanks God. Who knows? Yeah, but, I'm coming from quite traditional Asian family. And my dad, when he heard my crazy plans, what I'm up to, where I want to study, what I want to study, no, like, get out of here, go to business school and find this job, setting this kind of framework. I understand where it comes from. So I was like dancing always nearby.
Right.
I had this corporate amazing job that I really hated. And, like there are different types of people, of course, because we have different beliefs. For me, if I do something, I really have to force myself. I'm feeling miserable, honestly. And I was so struggling there. And in order to light myself up, I started my first business that was a dance school.
All right.
Not professional, but like that all people can try different styles. So that's how I started to learn budgeting, finances, teams, hiring people, like managing this whole thing, marketing, especially when you don't have budgets.
Yeah.
You have to be super creative. Go out there if you need to perform like in a huge department store from like, I don't know. We did so many crazy things, but it was fun. It was keeping us moving forward. And I think that's why we were growing crazy fast. So our studio at some point reached like so many people, we couldn't feed them anymore. So we had to move. And I really believe it's a lot about passion and energy. I understand that sometimes people have different opinion that passion is not important. Just focus on your money, on the strategies. We're all different. And that's why if for some people, like this logic is like main thing, that's exactly how it's going to work for them. But there are people who are like, we can't breathe if you're not creating, if you're not doing what you love.
I think passion is super important, but I don't think you can survive on the passion itself. Sometimes I lose passion, to be honest. Sometimes if I don't have enough sleep and kids being naughty and a lot of responsibilities and cash flow goes like this or the wrong investments was done, I think my whole passion is there. Oh, like, do I really need this in my life? Or maybe
yeah, it was the same. Like if to talk about athletic path.
Yes.
It's not that we're passionate every day, training 5, 8, sometimes 10. I think my record was like 12 hours in the whole like training. It's
a
not
day?
passionate. Yes, it's not passionate at all. Your body is collapsing. You experience insane pain, and then you have to go through because you are pushed by your trainers, by this responsibility that you represent the whole country. It's very heavy mental and physical pressure. So we're not talking about passion in general, but if you take sometimes a couple of steps back, you're craving it. You just feel like you can't live without it anymore.
Let's go to that background, and that I think that when we were preparing the great discussion that we had. So let's start with what do you think the skills that you acquired as a dancer? What are those skills that make you different in the business world that you say, yes, that's where I got from there, and that's why I'm different compared to other self-made businessmen, for example?
I think the way you are, in general, present yourself from the moment, like you are more adaptable, I would say, because as a dancers, we have to, learn from the music, what types of audience, what is the style of the dance. It's all different. So you learn how to manage all this in a very short period of time. And the same, I think, in business, you work with so many different stakeholders. Especially nowadays, like your team is very diverse. Our team is also super diverse. People are different, have different mindsets, culture. How are you like finding this common ground with them? I think it's also important. Like we have event in Dubai. It's so different when you do something in Europe.
What's the difference? So let's just
people's like from commitments.
Yeah.
And
Now I can guess where it's less commitment.
buy tickets there like 1 or 2 months before, not one day or night before.
Of course.
For
Or at
example.
the event.
Exactly. Then here you're like, oh, I don't know. We have on the list 100 people who will show up actually. Maybe half, maybe 150. Because sometimes people just come at the door and say, oh, we heard. Things like that. But also, of course, like legal structures, like lots of things completely different. But also culturally wise, again, how you present, how you deal with this. Another part, of course, I think the level of resilience. We talk a lot about mental preparation.
Yeah.
And I see like a lot of people nowadays who start their own business, they have been there for 3 months and they're already complaining. It's like, oh, what's going on with my finances? My income is not stable. Like, you just started, but what kind of stability are you talking about? It will take so long time when your, let's say, necessities are consistently covered that you feel safe enough to go and do more and take more risks, for example, because not everyone are ready to take risks when they just start.
I think it has to do a lot with the what we see from outside, right? When we type, I don't know, making business or doing business in Dubai, for example, on YouTube, we get all these dreams that are popping up there as the videos, right? Millionaires, this, do that. That expectation that it's going to be quick and easy. And also the expectations that you're going to be a millionaire.
I think it's also how it's positioned nowadays in terms of marketing.
Yeah.
Freedom, but no one is talking about the other side.
Yeah.
Yes, it's freedom only until specific, let's say, yes, you have your own time. No one is telling, your boss is not calling and asking where you are. It's already 9:30.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of people, they can't manage their time. They cannot manage their energy. And it's just gone. And then they spend the whole day doing maybe just one thing that is absolutely not related to cash flow. But for example, also in dancing, right? You can't come and just sit. There are specific, like you start, you warm up. Today you decide to work on one specific thing and you do that.
You're very focused,
so you don't waste your time.
Perfecting it.
And then you move on with the day. And the same, I think, in business, that what you learn, okay, you have so many, especially when you're wearing so many hats in the beginning, it's like how you're going to manage. Like, I'm doing finances, I'm doing marketing, and I'm also building team. Just starting to outsource. So how to deal with all these people, with all the things. But then you say, okay, I'm focusing. Today I'm just doing social media. Today I'm doing outreach. Today I'm doing whatever. And it's not like you have the list and you're like frozen, I don't know from what to start.
Yeah. And I think the idea of freedom also is such a subjective thing. Freedom. I woke up at 5 a.m. today. You flew overnight, right? To do your business. Is that freedom? I think maybe if I worked for a big American company, I would probably woken up at 7 p.m.
Well, I don't know. I mean, for me, like freedom, it depends also what you put into this. Like,
correct.
Who told me, don't sleep the whole night and travel or come here and have this conversation, right?
Yes.
So we are creating sometimes troubles
for ourselves.
But to me, I think I'm just like enjoying this like way of, okay, I'm traveling today. Today I'm here. I have this uplifting conversation because we are combining two topics I'm passionate about, entrepreneurship and dancing. Never done this before, so why not? Try something new.
I want to actually go back, to the dancing world. And I've done a little bit of research because that conversation made me think when you said, I've always seen the ballroom dancers because first of all, women are gorgeous. The way they present, the confidence they have, right? The outfits are absolutely, beautiful. And then I've seen, so the competition usually is many couples. How many couples are usually?
Depends on the size. It can be like dozens at the same time on the floor that you don't see even the floor.
And I was thinking, okay, how do they all know the routine and what kind of song is going to be played? until the moment.
We don't know.
Maybe it's my naivety, but until the moment you've said, but they don't know. You don't know.
No, we don't know.
So you enter the what's the called, the stage,
The dance
or no, the
floor.
dance floor, and then only you know the music.
Yes.
How do you isn't it stressful?
I never thought about this until you asked, to be honest.
Because first thing I think is, oh my God, it's so stressful.
Well, we do have routines. It depends on your class. Of course, if you're already on a high level, there's like difficulties completely different. You're already able to do some cool things, so to say. And when like small kids or beginners looking and think, oh, when I can dance this or that. So there are also requirements. So you have your routine. But when you go on the dancing floor, of course, you don't know what the music will be. Yes, we train and we try different music, and sometimes we hear the same kind of tracks. But it also depends. Sometimes we have live music, the orchestra, that sometimes is completely have different beats, and you have to match with this. Sometimes it's hard to do. Sometimes it's just like a DJing, so to say. So... of course, maybe when you start, it's stressful, and that's why you cannot make it like to the final, because if you are not dancing in accordance with the music, you're out. But when you're already like on the level, you start enjoying it actually. Like, oh, what music is coming? But then you play with your partner, like the whole routine. Yes, sometimes your partner is changing routine because you can't move here, you can't move there. Here's a couple, there a couple. So you have to figure out how to do things.
So is the partner that leads?
Yeah,
and the
of course.
woman follows, yeah?
Yeah.
And the partner then decides what he's gonna do?
Yeah. Because like it depends on the style, because we have Latin, we have ballroom. In ballroom, yes, primarily man is leading, and also but also it depends, because we are watching like two sides. I see only this part, he sees this part. Of course, if I see couple we're going to do this move, and you need to calculate, right? And there's couple, we will hit them, or we can't perform it. You have to stop him. So it's listening each other actually. But of course, man initiates movement, and you as a lady, you're just like continuing performance, so to say, how to finish the movement, how to look like. In Latin, I think the same, he's leading. But also there are many times when you're not together, like you're together, but you're not holding hands. So it's like a lot about self-expression, but you're learning how to make it in a great synergy.
So how do you make that? How do you learn that? How do you learn that? Does it mean you need to really understand your partner? Do you need to like your partner?
To be honest, yeah, of course. I mean, it's like in business, right?
Yeah, that's why I want to compare it. How much do I need to like my partner that he sees this or she sees that?
Sometimes you don't like I heard a lot when people start working together, they don't like each other at all.
Really?
And maybe through the journey.
Really?
I don't know, but I heard like very successful business owners, like they make 7 figures. They made it like during short period of time. And as they were sharing the real story, they said, when we started, we like really didn't like each other because we're so different. I don't know. Again, people are different. And I think sometimes I see how people fight behind the scenes.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Because you have different like personalities, ego clash constantly. I think I was lucky. I've never wasted my energy to fight. Yes, we have here and there disagreements, and sometimes he's pissed, sometimes I'm pissed. Like, you're not leading me properly. That's how you're supposed to do, and vice versa. Like, why you're not following, right? But I think it comes either from the experience, but also, for example, I can feel people really good. So I can dance with any partner and I feel his energy.
Right.
But not all people are so developed in sensitivity. I don't know if it's something you can learn, but as we are human beings, coming back to this, I think we can feel like any person. We're just not really paying attention to this. We don't want to invest our time learning it. But when you feel people, it's like, I can feel energy. I don't know how to even explain.
So does it help you in business?
You feel right people. When you come, you feel, are they genuine? Do you want to work with them at the very first place? Sometimes you feel a person has a beautiful heart, because of whatever wounds, I know he or she is demanding even sometimes something from you. And even yesterday, I had very tough conversation with someone who was like, where is this? Where is that? And I was like, I'm sorry, our platform is not for self-promotion.
Right,
and I had to remind the person what is the vision and why we're doing this, whether you want to be part of this or you don't want to be part of that. And we had this conversation, but then I was feeling like this person needs the love, the compassion. She wants to be seen, heard, and I can give, and you don't give it to any person. If I feel the person comes with genuine, honest heart, so to say, it's not like evil or jealousy or something like that, why not? I can take step back. For me, it's no problem.
So then we look at it as feeling your partner, the energy, the purpose, right? The intentions, super important for you that you could draw from your previous or other passion that you have.
Yeah, I think it's also a lot about, it's connected. When you build partnerships, personal, business, or in dancing, you sit down and talk, what do you want to achieve?
You too? Even in dancing also?
Yeah, of course, in adulthood, it's not when you're a kid, I remember parents have been meeting,
they know better.
I don't have parents, and I'm adult, I make my own decision. So we were sitting and having conversation, what do you want to achieve? Also based, if he has other career in a completely different world, I have career in a completely different world. So what time we have available for dancing, and what do you want to achieve? So we had this conversation. Yes, we go for world championship title, whatever, but it also requires investments. How much can we go?
Right.
Because it takes some time. Some people never get sponsored. Sometimes you are sponsored. I was really happy to be part of German national team, and we were sponsored in many ways. So you get access to specific trainings. In this world, you also have to have access to, some rooms, as we say in entrepreneurship, right? With kind of tables, you need to have a seat, what kind of investors to meet. The same also in the dancing world. It's also politics, lots of things you need to be aware where you have to be before competitions, etc. It's all on place as well, but have to figure out how to manage this all things.
And I remember you've mentioned something that I loved when you said that world champion, you cannot be just a self-made. You need a very strong mentors and coaches, right? You need certain...
Yeah.
And I think for the business world also, it's great. You can be self-made to a certain level, but then you need people that can lead you.
I mean, I was never self-made, to be honest, because when you start, even as humans, there was always support. Whether you appreciate it or not, there was parental or whoever support around you that you can survive on a physical level.
Yeah.
The same in business. We hire mentors. We watch these YouTube videos or listening to the podcast. We read books. It was created by people. Then we create a team who supports us. In dancing, if you start young again, it's not your decision making fully. There are parents. It's called team. It's parents, it's trainer. It's sometimes not just you have main trainer, but then you build up with whom else I want to train, because there are different styles, different schools.
Oh, right, yeah.
So whom do you want to, from whom do you want to learn? Based on this, you choose the schools, for example, where do you want to be at the very first place. So there are lots of things coming up. And I think the biggest gap, I don't know how it is now, but I think nothing changed so much. We don't have enough mental support. And very often we just pushed so hard. I stopped dancing for 2 years because I was pushed at some point so hard by my trainer that I had mental breakdown.
Oh, wow. And you've decided just to stop.
First of all, I had issues with my spine. And I had insane pain. And I was said, no, you're lying. You don't have pain. Go and we have competition. And then you go, and at some point you just can't anymore. So this part also, there are so many times when you just like go for higher goals
Yeah.
and you're not prepared, especially if you're a teen,
Yeah.
but even adults. Like, was I prepared to be like with these people from? I came to Germany. I didn't understand what my trainer is talking about. I was like, what we're doing now, oh my God, it's different cultures, different language. You don't understand anything. You don't know even how to dance formation in the very first place. And then like, oh, I hear music, probably I need to do this. This was the whole process. And then you feel like outsider. Everyone like, who are you here? You are nothing. So, and you have to survive, first of all, like mentally.
Sounds like the world today, business world today.
Exactly. You
Yeah,
enter.
you enter.
There's like sharks.
Yeah.
It's like you're nothing. We
Yeah.
can buy your business or kick you out or
Yeah.
just, out of resources. And many people, they bootstrap.
Yeah.
Like we were also bootstrapping our platform. It's not that someone is coming, take our money, right? It's never happening. Maximum what you can get is someone is coming, clapping your shoulder and says, you can do it, turn your back and leave.
It's true.
So
It's true.
how you are ready, like mentally?
So how could we prepare mentally even?
I think it's just everything has a price. And if you decide to go for it, like big things, you just make this decision. And I understand that sometimes we don't have in our mind what is the price. And very often people pay with the relationships.
True.
Like
Health.
people, they stop showing up for each other. Simple as it is. Health.
Yeah.
Kids, we all have, some people wants to have kids, but then we don't have enough time and we feel guilty. It gets like our energy gets low, like very low. We can't show up properly.
Yeah.
So, and then like I build this life and I'm miserable because I was not ready. But of course, from the outside, you have it all. You have business, you have family, you have friends, but you're not happy.
Yeah.
And that's why, for example, now when we help women start their own business, it's not just about, okay, let's sit down and break down your P&L, or let's talk about taxes or whatever, marketing strategy or branding. Let's talk about actually why you're here at the very first place.
Yeah.
How you're going to support yourself when this and that happen. What if you need to raise funds in 1 week and you're in a complete stress? How will you be dealing and what kind of conversations you have to have with your partner? Like all these things, we don't have this as much.
Yeah, it's true. Because the success is being valued at very simple materialistic things, I think, right? Just how much money you make, how many clients, who are your clients?
Yeah.
Are they the top of the list?
Sometimes who they are, right?
Who they are, where is your office located, how many people you have,
yeah.
right. But how do you actually feel? And sometimes I see, because a lot of, I've been surrounded recently, especially with a lot of people from corporate world after being there 20, 30 years, leaving or being let go because of restructuring, they're starting their new businesses. And I could just see, stop. All I want to say, don't do that. Don't do that. It's pain. Running your own business is pain. You really need to be strong and be ready for it.
Yeah.
And that always, I think always show up no matter what. You have passion today or you don't have passion today. So is that kind of...
I think it's okay not to have passion and feeling like let's say, trashy at all. Especially when no one is supporting your endeavors at the beginning. They don't see, like, when I shared like what we're building with my family after it was actually already on the platform, there was like questioning, oh, you tried so many things and you are not consistent. But you never seen the full picture, because the fact that what they meant, like, I studied psychology and I was counseling people because I was curious about this. It was my process of healing as well, and to learn about how on a mental level things are working. Then I studied quantum psychology and different tools, how rewire your brain. And I worked with people and they have never put it together that now this is my competitive advantage. I don't
Absolutely.
go and like show people how to start their own business. I actually help them to deal with emotions, to process them, to regulate nervous system, and to rewire the brain, because I have tools.
Yeah.
They always just, people see just like small picture of, oh, today you're showing up as this person, tomorrow as that person, so you are weird. You're not consistent over 100,000 years showing up as the same person. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't need to self-explain myself. This is my life. I don't know when it's over. If I'm curious about something, there is a reason. And then might be I will put things together. It just happened for me. Sometimes not. And I heard like at the beginning you mentioned, right, all this path and how things work together. But I told you that once, I will not call the name.
Yeah.
A lot of people know this guy told to me and my partner that if you will showing up as a dancer, no one will do business with you. Because
I have
it's not
goosebumps.
cool.
How not cool is that?
But the thing is, sometimes people buy this because they know how to brainwash people. And that's why it's important. And many times when you start something and someone comes to you and say, oh, stop doing this and that, and you feel like it's against my nature. Like he even told me, like, stop posting dancing pictures, stop telling that you're a dancer.
What did he suggest you to tell people?
There was like all these strategies, all this freaky show up as don't fake it until you make it.
No, fake
show
it
up as
until you
already,
make it. Yeah.
Like this, whatever.
Big businesswoman.
And I never felt like that, and I was continuing doing me. But I saw a lot of people who stopped like doing what they regularly have been doing, fully listening, because they say, if you don't listen to your mentor, you're not moving forward. Doesn't make sense. I understand you need to learn from mentors, but sometimes, for example, also in dancing, right? We learn from the best of the best legends. We'll take whatever experience they have, but I'm not them. And when I go on the dance floor, it's me, it's not them. When I do business, it's not my mentor. And I do things messy way, maybe, but it's me. So, and I ask my client who have been constantly buying like VIP package, like why you are investing, just out of curiosity. And the answer was, because you're a dancer. You have discipline, you have commitment, even things falling apart, you will find out eventually how to make them work. So, and also there is a trust. Like, okay, I know if something's not delivered, you come and say, okay, sorry, it's not delivered, but let's figure things out. It's not that someone is going to escape, evaporate, or never deliver.
I can feel now from you one very important thing that I think a lot of people are missing or pretending to have, and it's called confidence. Confidence, first of all, in yourself. And I think, and when I looked at the criterias of the dancers, judging criterias, that expression, right? The presentation skills, that confidence, and really when I remember seeing the dancers, especially women, the confidence they have, to the extreme of arrogance of some of them, right? The face expression, facial expression.
I mean, sometimes
like,
it is what you see.
But
people are like that sometimes.
And I think this is it's great. I think this is a power. I feel the power even now, how you talk about yourself and how, and a lot of us are missing that also. We look like we are confident, but when it comes to things like, or don't show yourself as a dancer, because saying that you make millions is more attractive. And to say no to that and to go with what you truly are is very, very confident thing.
I don't know if it's like confidence, because I don't feel like I'm still like working on this constantly. Even actually I had different goals for this year for personal development. For me, it's like work on my confidence. I even have it written, and it's so interesting you were talking about that. Like you just told me, right?
I feel it.
Something is changing. But for me, I think it's not really, at least how I see, maybe I'm wrong. this is your truth and there is real truth and there is someone else's truth. But how I feel it is just like not being afraid to be yourself. That's a constant work. And that's also the platform iSpeakUp, LightUp is all about encouraging women to be who they are. And that's where the self-worth, they start to realizing it. Because confidence can fluctuate. When your project is successful, you are like, oh,
yes,
if I could do this, I can go to the next level. If it's like bad results, your expectations were not met, you're feeling like, oh, okay, why I'm doing this at all? Maybe I should stop.
But there is, I think, what you've said about being yourself. If I may share my just very quick example, it happened literally maybe a month ago. I met with a very interesting person who actually studied my, I think, value system to a certain degree before I met with him. And he wanted to test if I am in terms of my belief system. So he went through everything. It was to the point that all I wanted was either to cry, run away, or everything from, I don't believe, what you're doing. I don't think it's needed in this world. I think everyone can be bored and so on. It was a test at the end. Okay. It was, but I've passed it for one reason only, I think, is because everything what I do, I believe in it. And there is not a single moment there where I had to pretend being someone else. And I think when I sat in my car, he told me it was a test, I would say it's cruel test also. I was thinking, oh, wow. I went back to my car and I'm thinking, thank God that if I even were pretending at some point being more than I am really, or, someone else, I would have failed this test, right? But here, no, I wasn't. Everything was me. And I think this is a true confidence, maybe, because I also don't feel confident about in a lot of times. But this is being able to stay till the moment and really who you are. I think this is very powerful.
Yeah.
And I've only learned it after 21 years of building businesses a month ago during this cruel test. And that's why I feel your confidence. Because like you said, if you can't deliver, you just say, I cannot deliver, but I'll work on it.
Yeah.
And this is a true confidence.
Yeah, that's how it happens. Sometimes you have projects, you can believe in this, and they don't come at time like that you promised.
Yeah.
And you come back and say the truth, and they say, do you want refund, for example, or I can compensate anyhow extra, or you stay, maybe you can wait longer, or we can work on this a few months more. If it doesn't work, this is the outcome. If this works, perfect, it will be even better. So so this on
is
your
on your promises.
Yes.
Why did you just tell us a little bit about your platform? And why is women? Why not men? I think looking at what's after 2020 and everything what's going on in the world, I think men will need a lot of help.
Well, I have been my first job was as a corporate person working in the bank, finances. Then how I made my first income, really passive income stream was also property. So it was all investments, and it's perceived as a man-dominated industry.
Yeah,
because not so many women somehow want to learn even how to manage money, how to invest. There's lots of fears around this for one reason or another. So I was never thinking about women. I think I also had this wound. Being around women for me was very hard. All my best friends were always men. For me, it was so easy to communicate with them. I don't know. It was even when I look back, projects in the university time was always with men, was the most successful, because there was no this chitty-chatty, gossiping, judgment, whatever. So I always wanted to get out
Less
of
emotions, more focus.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I am very emotional, I think. Sometimes, especially in Germany, I was too much for so many people. Even though I'm Asian and we're hiding everything. Anyhow. But when I gave a birth to my first kid, and I was like, after experiencing literally life, I was always dreaming about just like doing what I love, dancing with the, person I love, traveling the world and do something together, building something together. Out of sudden, you're sitting in like 4 walls. You don't know who you are as a mother. You don't know what to do. You're actually alone. There is no enough support. And I don't know, I had this calling and I was so shocked. Like, why women? I was always asking.
Yeah, why women?
Yeah, why? And at that time, like some even friends started to reach out, or do we want to do something together? And I was like researching several months. It was like, do I want to create physical product, how to support moms? Because I don't know how to do this and this and that. So it's a problem. Or do I want to actually ship some things to like Central Asia from Germany? Like there are so many different ideas. But then I started to interview successful women who already have been in the business for a while, make money from their passions. And it came out that one of the ladies, she was like, oh, I want to bring my event to Germany.
Right.
And I was thinking I'm helping her. At the end, it ended up to be me creating my brand, Independent Women. And she was just my partner who was helping me with this event. So I did in the partnership my first event in Antwerp. Then we did in Dubai because we lived here. And that's how it started. But then like I tried to turn it into platform, but I was burnt out because at that point I also have already 2 kids. And I think that's why you need to like sometimes step back and think what actually you're doing, why you're doing. And then I don't know, I just like had this crazy idea to create a documentary.
Yeah.
We did it for our community in Independent Women, just YouTube video during pandemic.
Yeah.
Somehow it ended up to be nominated to movie festival. And then if you have this mindset, how I can do bigger, I had this crazy idea, let's do a real documentary and filming and traveling.
Yeah.
So we started, it's still in progress, still fundraising. That's what I say, like some projects takes longer than you expected, but little did I know it will give actually birth to the whole platform. Why women? I think talking like about the background, I lost my parents very early in car accident. It's just like one day you come back home and you're on your own. So you have to figure out your adulthood by yourself. So
how old were you?
I was 22. I just graduated, started everything. And that's why, or even like relationships, you're not in healthy relationships. A lot of women really afraid to stand up and leave. Yeah. And that's why it's not the reasons why you should do things. But I think when you learn, when you have your own business, or you at least enjoy your corporate career, you just like live at your to your fullest. Second, you're not like wasting time. I always say we're not slaves, we're creators. So I call entrepreneurs creators because we're creating our own ecosystems, projects, whatever, our own world. And women somehow left back. We were left back for many reasons. And I still feel we do all have this wound. We're afraid to self-express ourselves. Our gifts, like we were burnt as witches. If you're a highly intuitive person, you're a bad person. We still have it. And besides that, like some talking about gifts, some are super strategic, some are like really great with their like craft, do something with hands, like nice pictures, whatever. But also there are internal, our spiritual gifts we have. Seeing more than others, if we can talk about, right? Feel this intuition. We're so disconnected, not just because of noise. We use it as an excuse, but sometimes I feel like we're afraid of our true power.
Or maybe we're just so tired sometimes.
Yeah, but
I think being mother, wife, businesswoman, right? A daughter for some people, sister, and so on. I think we just have so
But I
many
feel like-
responsibilities.
But this is the thing. I think like there are many ways how you can do things, and I totally agree. Like it's too much sometimes. But I think we're pushing ourselves also. We make the choice. I go and I'm just sitting in my head and I'm doing it from logic. And our logic is so limited until like specific, like it's your like, I don't know, pushing yourself against the wall, you destroy it with your head and then there is another wall. While when you tap into something more than that, you're real who you are, there are so many other ways how you can do things.
Yeah.
And sometimes help comes out of nowhere. You've never even thought about that. And that's what I'm talking about. It's like your gifts to tune in there, somewhere deeper. And it's also as a dancer, when we dance, we feel more like this music, this energy. Every single dance has different energy and how you perform in all of this. So I think using these abilities will help us a lot as mothers, as wives, as entrepreneurs. And I was so burnt out in my relationships as well. But I think healing, working on ourselves, that's changed a lot.
So if I look at the future, and I think a lot of people have a bit of a fear going into the future with all the technological changes and competition. The market is crazy. They change every day, right? And clutter of news and events that's happening around. What do you think? Let's learn from your dancing also. What do you think could save us in terms of our mental health? What kind of skills, so what kind of power, what kind of spirit, what will save us so to stay sane and happy and positive?
Well, we all know that external is just a mirror. If to go deep, I don't want to go into spirituality, but it's always all what's happening is a result of common consciousness. And at least what I believe in, we have this internal conflict constantly. Doesn't matter if it's dancing, sport, entrepreneurship, whatever, between ego and who we truly are.
Right.
Because ego says, no, go and like shine for the wrong reasons. Even with the fact that, don't show yourself up as a dancer in the world. It's your brand. We don't build brand like that. Or you say, no, like deep inside, I feel something different and I want to express it. And then there is this battle. And imagine like billions of people every single day, they wake up and 24/7
they have this battle.
What do we see? We see wars, we see crazy things with the nature. All of this is just the reflection. Yeah. And the problem is that ego will be always there. It's kind of our safety mechanism. Yeah. So I think if you leave, I mean, I've been many times on the personal level when the whole world was collapsing, like my life was literally all areas of my life were destroyed to nothing. And you have to start from this. And I was like, where is the light? I don't see light. Even my brand, right? If you go to Instagram, LightUp with Well, started during this period when I was in the complete darkness.
When you didn't see the light?
Yeah, like everything collapsed. What I have been building for decades, it's all gone. And people don't understand you. Why this happening? They have their own perceptions. You're facing gaslighting, judgment. And the only thing what you can do is to just remove yourself from everyone and be like in your own vacuum. And then realize that actually there is inside of you already so much light, you just don't see it. And I actually read when during my trip, I forgot this like terms, victimization.
Right.
Is people who are actually trying us to make victims. And there is another term that means I choose to be victim.
Yeah.
So many
Therefore,
times we choose to be victims. So we victims of AI, we're victims of politicians, we're victims of our family in the very first place, and so many aggressors.
yeah, yeah,
But you have another choice and stop being victim.
exactly.
And it's hard. It's easy to say, like, to stop being victim for me, like, we're still work in progress, right? Because then you have to face that, yes, I accept and admit I'm victim.
And it's very hard, right?
I have my shadows. I totally created this chaos in my life. You have to go through this, and the pain is like, a huge car crossed your body 100,000 times, but it's not physical pain, it's like mental pain.
Yeah.
It's me.
Yeah.
And then you realize no one to blame. Of course, there are still people who will show up not in the best way and behave towards you like not great. But it's your choice to say, like, cry about this, complain about them. I have very strong, prove the justice. And the universe has been always like, oh, corruption. What are you going to do about this? Nothing. Oh, your kind of family, whatever, throwing at you trash. What will you do about this? There is no justice. It's just justice in your mind, because on bigger realms, there's different types of justice. So learning like to surrender and say, yes, I don't know anything. It's just what I can control now, I can control now.
Yeah.
But at the very first place, be just honest. Am I like, do I want to stay in this situation, or I withdraw myself? Yeah. And I say, like, today we can talk about things and be sad and cry and talk again about pandemics and everything. The biggest pandemic is...
There's so many news now that I think we moved on with every day you open something, you open news, and there's always something to cry about.
Happening.
Yeah, it's insane.
Or you will say, let's be happy about now, present.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm sharing my story. I'm with an amazing company. There is behind the scenes amazing, perfectionist lady
who helping us
who make us feel as we were laughing, making us looking young.
Yes, young and intelligent
and funny, whatever. So we can laugh about that.
Yeah.
And it's always a choice that's sometimes so hard to make because we have pain. And so, like, most of my life, I couldn't ground myself. I couldn't feel my body. And I think that's why dancing was so much helping me to self-express myself. Because when you are in pain, and you can see, I heard cool expression. There are so many, among humans, there's not so many people. Most of us are programs. And where is this humanity? And I think humanity starts when you connect with yourself. And it's hard to do because... when you have pain, something happened to you, and you cannot stand this, or you're like escaping emotionally wise, you cannot be present.
Right.
And it took decades
years
to
right,
learn it. And now to be happy in my body. Yes, of course, sometimes you pull back, even during the day, multiple times, but then you remind yourself, what is good happening now? So I think you asked what the tip, like for me, what works. Okay, what is good now? Like now.
Today.
And we'll talk about, honestly, I tried so many times gratitude journals. Maximum 10 days and then I forget. Or I don't do this. Sometimes you don't feel genuinely grateful. So what helps me like ground myself, like I'm here, what I'm happy about.
Yeah. I think it's interesting when I was listening to you now, how my life changed. I was one of the youngest entrepreneur in Dubai. And every time I closed my eyes, I was seeing this big company. For some reason, I was standing on the second floor looking at it, this big office, computers, really beautiful. And today when I close my eyes, and I'm still entrepreneur, but I see different. I see forest. I see a tree. I don't see anymore standing and looking at, I just, different thing. I see this kind of, I don't know, an energy that we all can connect and prosper. creatively, financially, mentally, and so on, completely changed my world. And I think it's also some kind of a self defense mechanism. And this is what helps me really to look at this world in that way and protect myself through this kind of visualization that the purpose is different. It's not a big company it's not about that. It's about internal energy and helping with your energy in your work of life, professional, to other people. And that helps me. And then the other thing helps me, I don't watch news.
Yeah, I also don't know what's happening.
I don't want, sorry.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
And then I think Dubai is a huge difference. Dubai has a different energy in terms of people come here with a hope. So that you can rely only on yourself, really. And your hope is that to be a successful person. Otherwise, what's the point?
Yeah.
And safety, of course, is a big thing. And that's why at the tables, people stay away. And then also with all the laws we have, we don't really go and express our personal opinions and in a very, what's the word, categorical way of whom I like, what I don't like, and so on. So we try to be politically correct, which I actually like.
Yeah.
And that's why somehow the energy, we keep it going. We keep
balance,
balance.
kind of.
Yeah. But then I have family in Europe and they are really very categorical.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it helps in life.
I mean, as you said, I think important point, safety, right? Like I'm based nowadays in Poland, close to...
But it's very safe. I've heard Poland is one of the safety. Yeah, but it's not in your. No, it's the border.
Things were falling apart. And when it all started, we had bag. Just one day, if something, we just pick it up and
you have to leave. Yeah.
Even nowadays, but at some point you're so tired mentally, you can't play this game anymore, and you just leave. And lots of people, because just as yourself, I don't listen to news. So I'm like living in a completely different world, so to say, my world. Safety is not something comes from the external environment or whatever, whoever. Women searching for safety in a man, for example.
Yeah.
And what is happening, also based on personal experience, we're falling into trap to being with the most insecure person in the world. Or be in the place where not safe at all. Yeah. Or even if we escape to places where like safe, people still continue creating scenarios where they don't safe because something happens with their job and they lost it, or something is happening.
Yeah.
Until you realize safety is something you cultivate inside of yourself.
Yeah.
And this comes with the idea that first of all, I take responsibility for my life, for my reality. I'm capable to create so much more because I'm more than I used to think I am. Like I'm worthy of living, because so many people, they don't live.
Yeah.
They think they don't deserve even to live, or they don't want to live. It's happening unconsciously. Talking about psychology, right? And that's why we work with entrepreneurs, is like how you're going to build up the safety. You don't have paycheck to rely on, and they are so insecure and they make bad decisions. Take wrong clients who will drag their all
your energy.
Put on their shoulders investors who will be like, where is my money? Where's my return on investment? Like, especially if you're a service-based entrepreneur, why do you need investors? Why do you need VCs? Like, go and sell your services. You will get feedback. You will become better. You have money. Bootstrap your platform.
Yeah.
If you can't sell your services, maybe you are doing something wrong. Maybe it's not what you're supposed to sell.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I think we can continue for hours.
Tomorrow.
I see that whole topic about safety and want to ask you 1 million questions, but unfortunately the time is up. And I really invite you guys all to look at your platform, to look at Valerie's platform, be a part of it. So we'll put all the links below. and maybe be part of the event. Also, if you have time, because it's happening in Dubai, in Riyadh, right? You organize it in
Dubai,
Saudi.
Riyadh. Next year we have something more exciting coming.
Excellent.
So it will be revealed soon.
Excellent. This is amazing. I want to ask you the one last question. I don't know if you believe in God or universe, but if, let's say, God gives you a superpower tomorrow, whatever one superpower that you want, what superpower would it be?
Teleporting.
Teleporting? Why?
Why?
Where would you
You're
want
like
to
asking me-
teleport? Is it because of the airplane that you just...
No, like you said,
instead of-
sort of like flying, but this flying is too small. Like let's teleport in any universe you want to go.
All right.
But for me, it's like interesting. You know, we nowadays can live over 100 years, meaning we can experience multiple timelines. We can be poor, we can be rich, we can be miserable, we can be successful, and all during one life. But it's great to teleport and see how can I be there, and this person and that person, and at the same time also, countries-wise one thing, but also worldwide.
Worldwide and times-wise.
And then I think after this, when you come back in this body experience, all these problems, like nothing.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, it's a game, it's illusion. Whatever problems you have, I think what helps me is understanding that it's all so temporarily. It's all a game. This person who like you hate, or he or she hates you, you have conflict, you have pain. It's all illusion, because as souls, we all love each other.
Oh, really?
And I mean,
there are definitely a couple of souls I don't like, to be honest.
But it's funny.
Not even I would say.
But it's like sad, like, you know, the souls who are making you the most pain, they're the most loving. Like, they love you so much that they're pushing you. And somewhere, like, yes, ego says, blah, blah, blah. But your true soul says, I know, because if you would not cause me this pain,
right, I
would never be there. Like, if I was not like be so belittled, betrayed, whatever, judged, I would never probably be a world champion. Like, I would never had this. No, I never believed that I will be a world champion, to be honest. I wanted to be a national. I thought it's my max, and I want it. I don't know how. I probably can't, but I go for this. I know what I need to do on a daily basis. But I went for that after a season of darkness, because of this soul, la la la. But if not they, I would not be at that place.
And this is beautiful. Thank you so much. This is so a lot of things to think about. Really, a lot of amazing stuff and insights. And thank you very much, Valerie, for finding time, coming all the way here before your important event on Saturday. And I wish you all the best with your event. I'm so happy for all these women that you help and support. And I hope your community will grow and grow every day.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good?
Good.
Let's do this. Thank you so much. Oh, wow. You're so beautiful. I look at yours. You are a dancer. Oh, the grace you have, the confidence. Yeah. You still cold?
You. No, getting warm.
Warm?
I still have cold hands.
Oh, thanks.